Hello, hello. Hey, today we're going to talk about how to set up an email marketing campaign and get it sent. So we already talked about how to set it up. So you're in the dashboard, how to find it and how to set it up. So you're in the dashboard, just click on the marketing tab. And then what you want to do is go over to emails. I do want to show you something in the templates that I totally overlooked telling you in the other training video. So let's go to the template for a minute. So we're going to go into hopefully you know how to do this already. You go into the Revelana templates. You can make changes in each one of these. So let's go into the grand opening one. So with this one, I want to show you something that I did. So this email, it stopped at socks off, right? It didn't have this. So what I did is I created what's called a first name snippet. And this way, like in your list of emails and people you're sending to, please always have the first name in there. So you're going to always have the email address in the list and the first name in the list. Please, please, please do that. If the person's first name's in the list, this is just going to show up blank. You're not going to see this snippet, by the way. But this is adding their first name to it. So it's going to say, hey, it knocked your socks off, Nancy. So just also make sure in your list that everyone's properly capitalized, just with the first letter, and then the rest of it is lowercase, no all uppercase, no first and last name, whatever. You just want to have just that first name, have it look right in your data, in your customer relationship management system, and this shows up great. Let me show you how I put that in there. So what I did is I clicked on this square. It brings this up. I'm going to delete this so you can see what I did. So what I did is it comes up like this. You want to add one space. If you don't add a space, the name is going to show up directly after the F, and you don't want that. So you add a space, you go to custom values, and then go to contact, because the contact is your prospect, your client. It's the person who's in your database. You're the user, they're the contact. So you want to go into contact, and then don't put the full name. That's a little creepy. You don't want to put the last name. That's weird. So just choose the first name. So when you do that, it adds the snippet in. And again, if you don't have their first name in your data, that's just going to be blank there. It's not going to be a big deal. In this other snippet down here, if you have their first name, it's great. It personalizes it. Hopefully it's capitalized right. And then if you don't have their name, this is really just going to add a space between invited and the exclamation point. So that's not the end of the world. It's better having all the first names and having those personalizations in there than not. So please make sure you have that. I'm going to save the changes I just made. Save. And then I'm going to go back and then, it's still saving. I'm going to go back and we're going to look at how to set up a campaign. So when you go to back, you go to emails, you go to the campaigns. We're going to set up a new campaign. So let me see what choices are under here. So you can create a campaign from this page too. So this is how intuitive this system is. I really want you to notice that these are the choices I just went into under actions. So instead of going here, I'm going to show you the options. Instead of going to campaigns where it's blank, and now what you're doing is you're creating a campaign. You're going here and creating a campaign, and going this way, creating a campaign, and then going into the templates and then choosing a template from there. I just want to show you don't have to do it that way. So let's go into monthly treatment. I think I already chose that one earlier. So we'll do Wisdom Wednesday community event announcements. You just want to make sure that you get into that and you see it. But let's go back. I really like the idea of creating, that's just so you can see, make sure it looks good. It's good to go. No changes needed. And then notice that opened in a new tab, a tab of its own. So you can even close that out and go back to a different tab. So I'm even going to close the tab. I can go back to a different tab, and then I'm going to go back because I want you doing it this way. I want you to go into your templates and start your campaigns that way if you're going to use one of the Revelana templates. So let's go to bring a friend, 25% off. And we're going to go to actions and we're going to go create a campaign. So now we're creating a campaign here. You just want to look through, you want to personalize it with the little snippets, whatever, and finish it. But then what you want to do is just go through these steps. I'm not going to be able to go through every step because there's no list. There's literally no list in this brand new account yet. So you do want to make sure that we're going back and creating lists, and we'll go into that in a different video. But you want to just you want to click on this send or schedule, and then what this is going to do is going to let you, when you press send, see there's no one in here. We didn't add a list in here, but you can either choose a contact, you can go to all contacts and add them in there, but there are none. So if you go to all contacts, there's 0 in there. So it's a little tough, but you can even search contacts and put in individual contacts if you want in here. And then there's also, we're going to have another video of how you create smart lists. That's later stage. That's a little more complicated, but that also, let's say I wanted to just send an email to everyone who's a Revelana client, but not every single person that's in my database. That's considered a smart list. So I've tagged you as Revelana clients, and I just do a search on that tag and it populates a list of just Revelana clients. So that's just what a smart list is. So don't get overwhelmed by that. But there's no contacts in there, but I can at least show you like what you always want to do is have the from email. You can always tag that, by the way. You can put it in manually that you want this to say, let's say it's going to be, I don't want to publicize Ann Messer's email account, but it can come from ask@louology.com, which she wouldn't do because she's Sacred Healing Spa. And then you can also, the from name is, she can put Ann from Sacred Healing Spa, right? Um, so I want to make sure that you realize that is what they're going to see as far as the from field goes. So it's always good to personalize that. And then you know the difference between what you see it came from and then the subject line. So let's say, I forgot what this is, bring a friend. So she can write, thought you'd appreciate this, and then space, and then you can go here and then do contact first name. Oh, now I just learned a lesson. You have to get the tag in there first. Hope you appreciate this, space, and then you can put an exclamation point or whatever after that. If you don't have that first name, same thing's going to happen. There's going to be one space in between this and that exclamation point, not the end of the world, but this is a really nice way to personalize the email. It's more likely to get opened. Preview text is really what a person sees before they even open the email. So you might want to do that. You might want to say, like, we just learned, so contact first name. I wanted to make sure you were invited. You knew about this or whatever. So that's what they're going to see before they even open it. That increases the probability that they're going to open your email. So I always recommend you put that, press save, right? And then it's saved. Now, what you can do, by the way, that I highly recommend is, first of all, you want to schedule it. So you can send it now, right? But if your list is thousands and thousands of people, you don't necessarily want it to send 4,000 emails at the same time or even 500 emails at the same time. So I always recommend batch scheduling, where if you've got a very big list, You just, again, it's so obvious. You pick the dates, batch quantity, how many, like maybe send 100 at a time. You want to stay safe because if you're sending too many at a time, you can get your email banned. And it can get marked as spam, but it can get banned. So just like I wouldn't send more than 100 at a time, and then you can choose like in 30 minutes, or in 2 hours, send the next batch, right? So it'll keep going. And then you pick the date. This is very intuitive. And then you want to start at what time and then end it at what time. That's not necessarily necessary, but it's always good to send it at a time that it's going to pop in when they're awake. If it's one of the first emails they wake up to, it's sent overnight, chances are it's going to get deleted because that's when you just go through and go delete. So just think about what you do with your email. And like if it pops in at noon or it pops in at 9 in the morning, that's probably, so you can always say, hey, start this at 9 a.m. Uh, and then end at, you don't want it coming in any later than 4 p.m., let's say. So you can do that. And then this is the way to do it. Don't worry about RSS schedule. Just, I would highly recommend if you have a big list, do a batch. If you have a tiny list, you can just go into schedule and then schedule it. And then when you press save, it queues it up and it's ready to go. So, and it'll send for you while you're working your magic on your clients. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you appreciate this. It's an awesome email marketing system. Absolutely love it. So enjoy, make some magic happen. If you want us, please go to Revelana.com services. If you want us to do all your updates and get the emails ready and get them sent for you every single day, I mean, every single month, how often you send them out, it doesn't matter. You get us monthly, and you can reserve us to just be on call for you. You get us exactly what it's going to say, exactly what you want us to do, and we set it up and we send it for you. If you want our opinions and advice and some mentorship with the campaigning and other things, you can just pay a little extra monthly and you get our opinions too, or we come up with the ideas. So we collaborate with you as a mentor, and we get it all done for you. So please look at that and see if you might want to consider that. We'd love to help you, and have a great day. Bye. Bye for now.